Learn how to with EgoBooks.
Hi everyone, welcome to EgoBooks. Today we'll be going through expenses model under EgoBooks and how expenses model relates to our payment accounts in the system. So first of all, let's go to expenses. In here we have a list of expenses. All the expenses that you've done in the past will show up here. So we have expenses done today. You can scroll through to see the amount, the note under which the expense was made, and who also made the expense. All this information is available in the system for you. Okay. So as many expenses as there are in the system, all will pop up. Now we have up here filters. The filters will help you be able to filter based on location. So if you have different places, you'll be able to see the expenses for only one location. The expense for has to do with the users in the system. So if you want to see all the expenses made for one particular user, you'll be able to see it. The expense made for a particular contact also, you'll be able to see that. To see all the expenses under one particular category, you'll also be able to do that. Now you can filter your expenses based on date range also. So if you want to see only expenses done in this very month, you do that, and here we are. You have only expenses done in this month. If you want expenses done for just the particular day in question, you can do that also. So we have in here today, and that is it. Now to add expenses, we go to add expense. Now we'll try to add a sample expense. So business location, we'll select let's say this particular location. The category is, for instance, fuel and lubricant. The reference number, you can leave it blank for the system to auto-generate itself. Expense for, so you can input a person's name, the user for which you are doing the expense for, and who is receiving the payment. Expense for contact, who you are making the expense to. So for instance, let's say you are making the payment to Samuel Ofori, for instance. Now the total amount of the expense, let's say, is 500. If there is any note, you put there. What is the expense meant for? Fuel. If it's a refund, you can check here a refund. If it's something that's going to recur, you can put it here and then put the recurring period, so that once the time is up, the system will automatically generate it for you to make the payment. Now add payment. Up here we have that our total payment is 500. Under the add payment column, you can either pay all the amount or part of the amount. There will be instances that you'll be paying only a deposit of the total amount. So let's say we are paying 300 Ghana cedis out of the 500, so we'll put that there. Now your date is there. If you have to change it, you can change it, but it takes the particular date in time, the very time that you are entering this expense. Payment method is a cash, is a bank transfer, is a mobile money, is it order, is check. So based on the mode of payment. Now payment account. For any expense that is done in the system, you'll be able to select a particular account that this expense is being made from, so that automatically the system will subtract that amount from the account. So for instance, let's say Mercy cash at hand. So once we select this account, the 300 Ghana cedis is going to come out of Mercy's cash at hand. If for instance you had selected mobile money, then it will mean that you have to change the payment method here to mobile money, and the money will automatically come out of this particular account. You need to So there's a transaction ID here because we selected mobile money. Every mobile money payment needs to have a transaction number, and it's obligatory. Now change it back to cash, and then we'll say, let's say cash at hand. Now it's not obligatory anytime to put in the transaction ID, so you can skip that. So payment note, if there's any note, you put it there and you save it. Now down here you have payment due, because we are paying 300 out of the 500. That is how come the 200 Ghana cedis here is due. So we can go ahead and save it. Any other time when we are ready to make the payment of 200, we can go back to the system and make the payment. Okay, so once you enter, it brings you back to all expenses. So this is what we just entered. Now here we have the category fuel and lubricant. We have in here the location we did the expense. We have here, this is the total amount, and this is the amount that is due. So the amount we paid, hold on, there's supposed to be 300 that we paid somewhere. Okay, so the total amount is 500, but what is due is 200. So automatically we have made payment of 300. However, if you want to see the payments you had done, you can come to action and say view payment. So in here we have the 300 Ghana cedis that we had paid. Okay, so we take close, and that is it. Now the good thing is, for every expense you make, the system will require you to add a payment account, so that at each point in time you have the right balance of your payment account showing in the system. So now once we go to our payment account, list account, so for instance we go to the very account that we had done the transfer. Now say Mercy cash at hand. So here we have accounts book. Good. So when we scroll down, the very payment we made just now, this is the date in reference, we paid cash, and it was paid by EgoBooks, and the amount is 300. The balance left is showing here. The balance left on the account is showing here. Moreover, you'll be able to move money from one account to another. So for instance, we have all our accounts here. Let's say we are making payment to one particular account. So we are making payment to this very account. We say we want to deposit into it. Now the system gives us the opportunity to select from which account we are making this payment. So let's say the money with Rex is being sent to Angela Mobile Money. Let's say Angela, can make changes to this and say cash with Angela. So we are making a deposit into cash with Angela from money with Rex. Select the date, you are good to go. If there's any note, you put it there, you submit. So it's easy for you also to transfer funds from one particular account to the other. So in this instance, if you give money to a staff who is in charge of expenses, you will be able to make a direct transfer from where the money is coming from to the staff's account, so that the funds will automatically go and add up to his or her account. And anytime expenses are being made, the system will automatically take out those amounts from the account. So for instance, you give the person 1,000 and the person makes petty expenses. So the person makes expense of 5 10, 20, each and every expense will automatically be deducted from the person's account. And once the amount is exhausted, the system will show that account is zero. There are instances whereby the person can spend beyond the amount that is being given to the person. So for instance, if you look at this account, it shows a negative figure. This is because the person has spent more than the funds that are available with her. So to reconcile the system, we need to know where this amount was gotten from, so that we can transfer that amount into her account to be able to balance her account. Okay, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed today's demonstration of how you can link your expenses to your payment account.
Elevate your business.